The number that's in front of x squared gives you an idea of whether the graph will open upwards or downwards. If it's positive, it's going to open up. So a positive 2 in front of the x squared means this graph will open up. Same thing here on the next problem. A positive number means it's going to open up. And you got this one right here, the negative number. There's a negative 1 in front of the x squared, so this one's going down. And just to point this out, this one looks like there's a negative number in front of the x squared. But you have to actually square this whole term to see what the number is in front of x squared. So if you expand that, expanding that means multiply 48 minus x squared, multiply it by itself again. It gives you the positive x squared and then minus 96x plus 2304. So the number in front of x squared is positive, just a positive 1. So again, that will open upward because it's positive. And you got that correct, but I just wanted to point out that the number in front of x is all you're looking at for as far as upward or downward. And if it's like this in parentheses, you need to expand it out first and then look at the number in front of x. And positive up, negative down. So we need to draw the whole graph of this function, and we can start by looking the number in front of x squared is positive, so it's going to be a parabola that opens up similar to this. Looking at our answer choices, it looks like we've narrowed it down to either B or D. It needs to open up. So an x squared graph always kind of has this shape, and it either goes up or down. A positive number is going to go up. Now we need to find where that vertex is. That's a great way to graph. And the vertex is just the very middle part of it. So it's going downward to the vertex and it goes back up. So that part right in the middle, we call it the vertex. The formula for the vertex is negative b over 2a. That gives you the x coordinate. So remember, a is the number in front of x squared, b is the number in front of x, and then c is the number on the end by itself. So in this problem, we have that a equals 1, the number in front of x squared is a 1, b equals 0. There's no x term, so that means b is 0. And then we don't need c for this part, but c would be the number at the end, negative 7,225. So the vertex is going to be negative our b, so a negative 0, which is the same as positive 0, over 2 times 1, 2a, 0 over 2, which just reduces to 0. So that's the x coordinate of our vertex. So x is 0. We need to figure out the y. Just plug in the x value here to figure out the y. So if you plugged in a 0, we just figured out it's 0. Plug it in, and you're going to get your y value equals 0 squared minus 7225. So it's going to be 0 minus 7225, which just gives you negative 7225. So we're looking for the point 0, and then the y value should be negative 7225. These graphs are a little hard to look at because of that giant scale, but this one's clearly in the positives. Positive 2,000, positive 4,000. This y value is at positive 7,000 something. So we want this one, which is at negative 7,000 and something. Is obviously trying to be at negative 7225. So it's the only graph that works, D. Let's look at one more like this. Again, the number in front of x squared is a positive 1, so it's opening upward. So it could have been A or D. It's one of those. And then we need to find out where that vertex is. So again, we're going to use that same formula to figure out the x coordinate of the vertex. And again, for our a value, we have a 1. Our b is 0 because there's no x term. And our c is negative 9,409. So negative b over 2a, again, we're going to get 0 over 2, 0. So we're going to get 0. We plug a 0 in there, and we're going to get 9409. Okay. So we're looking for the vertex or the middle of the graph to be at 0 and then negative 9409. So it looks like A is at maybe positive 9,409. We're in the positives here. But in graph D here, we're looking at the negative, so negative 9409. And to go through this one quick, it's going to open downward because there's a negative in front of x squared, so it's either this or this. C and D are ruled out. And if you did that whole thing we just did for the last problem, you would get 0 and then negative 3844. So we're looking for the graph that has the vertex at negative 3844, and it's this one. This one's at positive 3844. For this one, let's start by expanding that out. Actually do the squaring. So if you do the x plus 3.2 and you square it, use the FOIL to work that out. You'll get x squared plus 6.4x plus 10.24. So the number in front of x squared is a 1, in front of the x is a 6.4, and then the c is a 10.24. Use that same formula we've been using to find the vertex. Negative b over 2a is going to be negative 6.4 over 2 times 1, so just over 2. And you divide that, you're going to get negative 3.2. That's your x coordinate. You got to plug it back in to get the y. Well, you can plug it back in here if you want. If you plug in the negative 3.2 in there, you should get a 0. There's also this original, this is an equal formula. You could plug it in here. Negative 3.2 plus 3.2 and then square it. So you're going to end up with 0 squared. So this one's a little faster to plug it in because of the negative 3.2 and the positive 3.2 equals 0 right away, and you see that the y value is going to be a 0. But either one's fine. So we're looking, the vertex should be at negative 3.20. So it looks like this one, and we know positive in front of x squared, it should open upward. So again, from our choices, it was either A or D, and this one's at the negative 3.2, this one's at the positive 3.2. So it's A.